As the calendar now flips to August 16, the countdown to the new school year is officially on. And as the holiday climate changes, I know students, parents, and teachers alike may be feeling a sense of excitement or perhaps a bit of anxiety. With only a few weeks left before the first bell rings, the question is, are you ready for back to school? Hello there. Welcome to another exciting edition of Jamaica Magazine. I'm your host, Adrian Atkinson. Today we have a great lineup just for you. You will learn ways to shop on a budget for school items and get introduced to some techniques for effective yet gentle parenting. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after the news.
Good day, I'm Theodore Henry, and this is your JIS News for Friday, August 16, 2024. A new seawall is to be built along a section of the Roselle Main Road in St. Thomas after the old structure was damaged by a storm surge during Hurricane Beryl. The corridor is included in roadworks being carried out in the parish as part of the Southern Coastal Highway Improvement Project, SHIP. During a tour on Wednesday, Prime Minister Andrew Holness explained that the failure of the road was not the fault of the project or the contractors.
There was an existing wall in place. So when we were building the road, there was no need to interfere with the existing wall that was in place. But the hurricane damaged the wall. In fact, it totally destroyed the wall and came in onto the road. So this is not a defect of the contractor. This is something now that the government will have to pursue as supplementary work, meaning we will have to have an additional budget because of the hurricane to put in a seawall.
Technical manager at SJE Consultants, Dion Sampson Russell, explains that the damaged section of the Roselle Main Road will be reconstructed with a new rubble masonry wall to protect the roadway and all existing infrastructure.
So at this point, the contractors already started to clear the debris, remove the sections of collapsed wall, and have started excavating. This wall will be 5 meters high, deep if you're going from road level. And then we will have at least 1.5 meters of this wall below ground so that we have a good foundation or protection. However, this component of the project does not include any revetment work or sea defect.
Rock revetment is also being considered as part of supplementary works for the area. A donation of medical supplies valued at $85,000 has been presented to the Black River Hospital in St. Elizabeth to support patient care. It includes 3,400 disposable fitted sheets and pillowcases that will complement a previous donation of hospital beds to the facility.
So this is a significant investment for us. And of course, peel-away sheets, as you see, they are disposables. And so in times of hurricane and any disaster we have, they are very handy.
The items were gifted by the Parity Enrichment Project in partnership with Peel Away Labs.
We are extremely pleased to donate to the Black River Hospital for the third time. The Parity Enrichment Project continues to do what it can to help the community, to improve the lives of the people. And we are grateful that we can partner with the Black River Hospital.
The Jamaica Library Service, JLS, is set to enhance its technological capabilities and expand its educational outreach thanks to the donation of 200 laptop computers. The laptops were provided by eLearning Jamaica, ELJAM, through the Ministry of Education and Youth. The formal handover ceremony took place recently at the Joyce Robinson Hall in the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Library. Chief Executive Officer of ELJAM, Andrew Lee, says the donation should have a lasting impact on the community.
Through our partnership with the Jamaica Library Services, we are confident that these devices will not only enhance the knowledge and skills of students and members of the community, but also inspire them to become positive agents of change within the communities.
He reveals plans to provide an additional 200 devices to the JLS, hinting at the possibility of securing these resources within the current fiscal year.
I'm going to reveal that we're going to provide a further 200 devices to the Jamaica Library Services. So while we're thinking of it for next fiscal, I'm going to be talking with PS and to see how we can provide the additional 200 this fiscal year.
The devices will be distributed across the JLS's 109 public libraries island-wide. The Rural Agricultural Development Authority, RADA, is encouraging farmers to employ composting methods to help manage the waste and debris left in their fields after Hurricane Beryl. Senior Plant Health and Food Safety Officer at RADA, Francine Webb, says the increased cleanup efforts demanded by the hurricane means it may take some time to get rid of the added waste. In this case, composting to reuse the waste matter would not only aid solid waste management, but also prove beneficial for the farmers in their rebuilding process.
We want to be able to assist our farmers with setting up their compost piles that will help in managing that level of waste that you may have in the field. So gather them. We'll help you with the technical know-how as to how to set these up so that you can also utilize this compost pile in the long run to help in building the general health of the soil by once it has broken down.
The Ministry of Justice is this year's winner of the Public Sector Debate Competition. The competition, which is in its third year, is spearheaded by the Transformation Implementation Unit, TIU, in partnership with the Jamaican Association for Debating and Empowerment, JADE. It aims to provide a platform for government officers to share their views and ignite a spirit of engagement to make public sector transformation more inclusive. The Justice Ministry team defeated the Administrator General's Department, AGD, walking away with a Champions Trophy and prizes valued at more than $800,000, including a $500,000 cash prize and individual trophies. Each member of the AGD team received trophies for their second place finish and a $567,500 package, which included a $375,000 cash prize. Third place went to the Teaching Service team, which received trophies and a $250,000 cash prize. The final was held recently at the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel in New Kingston. And finally, the Ministry of Health and Wellness has issued a Mpox alert as the World Health Organization, WHO, declares the viral infection to be a public health emergency of international concern. This is the WHO's highest level of alert and is reportedly sparked by a new fast-spreading variant that has been detected in the Democratic Republic of Congo and neighboring countries. Locally, however, the Health Ministry is assuring Jamaicans that presently no cases of Mpox have been reported in the country. But members of the public are still urged to take the necessary precautions to safeguard themselves from the disease. Chief Medical Officer Dr. Jacqueline Bisesa McKenzie advises that persons must report to the health department if fever and rash occurs following recent international travel or close contact with persons who traveled within the preceding 3 weeks. Healthcare workers are also to have a heightened sense of awareness of this illness and report suspected cases to the parish health department. Mpox is a rare disease that is similar to smallpox and can be transmitted by contact and droplet exposure. This new WHO declaration is the second in 2 years.
The outbreak in 2022 was larger among men who have sex with men and was controlled through vaccination and behavior modification. Safe sexual practices, along with practicing physical distancing, mask wearing, and frequent hand sanitization, will reduce the likelihood of transmission of the Mpox virus.
Symptoms of Mpox can be mild or severe and associated with skin rash that can be very itchy or painful. The disease is often self-limiting, with symptoms usually resolving spontaneously within 14 to 21 days, but severe disease may be fatal. For more information on Mpox, please contact your parish health department or call 888-1-LOVE, that's 888-663-5683. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Theodore Henry. Thanks for watching.
Thank you for staying with us. As the days tick down to the start of the new school year, it is crucial for parents to ensure that everything is in place for a smooth transition. In our next feature, we'll provide some valuable tips on how to get started and make the back-to-school shopping process as seamless as possible.
Generally finding enough money to buy everything that the kids need. That's the biggest challenge because the book list these days are long.
Getting the right thing at the right price. But to back to school, I'm kind of raise the price. That's the thing right now.
High price are one of the main problem, and sometimes the book is too long.
Shopping for back to school can be a challenge for many parents, and it does in fact affect their pockets. So how can they get what they need but at the same time stay within their budget? We're at the Consumer Affairs Commission to get some vital tips to help you. Communications specialist at the Consumer Affairs Commission, CAC, Dorothy Campbell, has a wealth of knowledge on this matter. And so we put the question to her. What's the most important thing parents can do when seeking to shop for back to school on a budget?
What we've asked them to do is to plan ahead. So you plan by collecting a list from the schools of exactly what is required. You plan your transportation route, if you're driving, if you're taking the bus, and you also plan how much you have to spend. So you use that list to prioritize what are the needs, what are the wants, what are the must-haves for the first couple of weeks at school. And then from then you determine what is the total cost and how much you have to spend.
Okay, so plan and prioritize. But how do parents even go about deciding the needs from the wants?
The CAC recommends that the parents divide the needs. So you'll have the needs that are, say, uniforms, school shoes, bags, that kind of thing. But you also have some needs prior to getting into school, which are medical examinations, eye tests, because your child might need glasses. You know, some of those things that you might have to do prior to going into back to school shopping. And then you determine what is the best option. Do you need to buy a new pair of school shoes the first month or the first 6 weeks of school? But I think what parents are going to focus mostly on is getting the kids ready in terms of their books. So those are some of the things that we say, try and go get those books first and then determine whether you'll need newer items like shoes and socks and belts and epaulets and ties and so on. But those are necessary if it's a new school. But if it's a repeat, if you're going back to your old school, you just need to top up. Maybe a new uniform or repair the shoes or something like that.
A good reminder that not everything needs to be new. Perhaps one of the most painstaking challenges for back to school is dealing with the matter of textbook shopping.
When you go in, you expect to find something at one price, but you go to another store and you see it at a totally different price. And so people may feel a bit of remorse, saying they pay so much here when they could have get it cheaper somewhere else.
Well, there's no need for remorse if parents and other consumers make use of the wonderful and effective tools available to them at the CAC.
The biggest thing on our brag list is our annual textbook survey, and we've been doing it for 20 years. So the research unit is, they're really efficient at this. So that's what we do every year, and we use that to help consumers to go to the website for those who have access and or call the CAC to get information about where the books are available, what is the average price for those books and so on.
In addition to the survey, there is also a price comparison tool.
The price comparison tool is available on our website, and you can go in, select the items, fill your basket based on what you have to spend and determine exactly whether you want to get your science books from this particular store because the prices are low.
In addition to all of that, a tried and true tested way of cutting costs is getting used books. Many schools, churches, and other organizations often undertake book drives that you could look into.
So you can get some of those books at reduced prices.
And don't be afraid to ask around.
Ask your friends, where did you get the khaki uniforms? Where did you get the shoes? Where did you get, these supplies? And you compare those prices, the stores that are either closer to home or closer to your office or your job.
Any other advice, any other tips that you want to share?
Don't get overwhelmed by the book list or by the requirements. Just try to prepare that child for first 2 weeks of school. Just think about the first 2 weeks of school and get him ready.
It's a seasonal task, but with that seasonal task, it becomes a lifetime responsibility. Even when you're out of the parenthood in terms of the personal responsibility of the upbringing of that child, you're going to have the task of guiding that child into manhood or into adulthood. And I believe that experience in taking the child through school, life itself is a school. So your process as a parent is a continuous one up until death.
Parenting is one of the most challenging yet rewarding roles a person can undertake. As we approach the new school year, one timeless piece of wisdom to keep in mind is be slow to anger and quick to listen.
For teenagers, it's a little harder in some ways, and in other ways it's a little easier because they do understand the difference between right and wrong. It's clearer what are some of the things that they love, and you can remove those things. But one of the things that's really important with teenagers is really to take the time to make sure that they understand that their feelings and their opinions are valued. So in the moment, yes, I'm removing these things, but I'm also having a conversation with you about why you won't have access to these things for a particular period, right? We're explaining why this thing might be dangerous to you, whether or not you agree with it. I am the parent, right? This is where I am coming from. It really requires a conversation because ultimately what you want to teach them to do, is to reason and to think, right? You don't want to just be disciplining and you're not helping them to think through it and to use proper judgment and reasoning skills. And so those are some of the things that you can try.
If the child becomes stubborn, the child is more obstinate, and the child has a fixed mindset, if you will, that this is what he or she is going to continue to do, then you might need professional help. You might need to call the commission, or you might need to call a social worker or a guidance counselor to help for you, because sometimes parents don't have the language either to even explain why this behavior is wrong. And that causes friction. Once the friction starts, then we recommend that you get a third party involved because it could become worse.
In our next feature, we'll dive into a roundtable discussion on the significance of career days in schools and how they can guide your child toward their dream occupation.
Career Days in Schools is an engaging and a dynamic experience that allows students to interact with professionals in the line of work they wish to pursue. But why are schools having career days? Why are schools talking to students about careers when they're not yet ready for it while they're studying certain subjects. It's a topic we'll discuss in our He Says, She Says series.
Welcome to the start of another He Says, She Says series, where we express our perspectives on topics such as relationships, workplace habits, careers, and other issues, more frequently discussed in silos, but we are now bringing to the forefront. Joining us today is Reverend Winston Peku, Chairman and Chaplain of the Frankfield Primary School Board. He's a successful entrepreneur and the resident pastor for the Frankfield and Grantham Circuit of Churches of the Church of God in Jamaica. We're also joined by Avina Henry, Region 6 President for the Jamaica Association of Guidance Counselors in Education. And our third guest is business owner Adermi Mitchell. Welcome to the show. They will be giving some perspective on everyday life situations we all want to talk about. And I'm your host, Andre Palmer. Today, we're discussing all things careers. Let's get right into it. So, ladies and gentlemen, what is the purpose of having a career day in schools? I want to start with you, Avina.
Career day, it is very important in school because it helps to expose children to different types of careers. Not only careers, but skills as well. So it is important for them to see different types, start thinking about it, to believe it or not. Even though they are young, I serve a primary school, even though they are young, there are children who are already thinking about what it is they want to become. So I think it is very good for that to be done in order to aid them in making decisions.
Reverend Peku, I want to bring your perspective into the mix now as a school board chairman. How important is career day, especially at the primary school level?
Well, it is very important because it at least gives the children at this very tender age a feel of what the world will be like when the time comes. So they will at least have the foundation to see what is happening and what their parents have to be doing in order to send them to school. So they will have a choice to say, what, I want to become that or I want to become this, and with the dynamics of our time, the ever-changing, ever-evolving field in which we live, it's not just chalk on board anymore, the high-tech, the robotics. And so when they start to see how successful people are and they are able to touch and feel them, they say, all right, this man has achieved this woman has achieved that, then I can, and therefore I will.
I want to bring Adermi into the mix with the next question I want to ask. Do you believe that we're giving our students enough opportunity to match their interests when it comes on to careers? And as a young person, Adermi, what do you think we are giving enough opportunities to our young people?
We can do more in terms of exposing them more to the type of careers that are out there. So basically what I'm saying is that we're not doing enough to actually bring out in terms of exposing them to the type of career fields that is out there in terms of when we're younger, we normally would say we want to be a police officer or want to be a soldier, but there's more to it in terms of the whole career.
Avina, as a guidance counselor, do you believe that we're giving our students enough opportunity to even explore modern careers that are available now?
I will say yes. And the reason for that is because gone are the days when we usually focus on just career, policeman, teachers, soldiers. Now when we do career days, we include the skills, masonry, carpentry, farming, entrepreneurship, even coding. And the world is going technological. So I do think that we are expanding the minds of our young children. And so I do believe that we are giving them what they need to know.
Okay, from the board level, Reverend Peku, in your opinion, what is the current status as it regards to preparing our students for careers? Because you'd have seen it from a different perspective than the rest of our panelists.
Well, I believe that we are right there. And I'm not just a chair, I just function at a primary level. I chair the Edwin Allen School Board, the high school board too. So we are exposing, and the board, along with all stakeholders, are ensuring that our children not only come out not only to read and write, but they can use their hands. They are, they are viable. As you know, in Jamaica now, we're short of skilled work men and women, But we in the school and at the board level, we are ensuring that our children are rounded, that they are able to fit in every and any era, so that Jamaica will be a place to live, to work, and to raise family.
We have been having this important discussion so far, but I want us to take a look at the viewers' response to this very same question.
As students, say for example, students go enter high school, they start from 12, 13, start identifying likes, what the child loves, and educate the child how to, start deciding, explaining, introducing certain aspect of skills, career, just like how they will have career day as in nurse, teachers, and so on, life insurance, money, finance, all of that from a tender age.
Well, this is the end of our He Says, She Says conversation. Stay tuned for more. Our guests were Reverend Winston Peku, Avina Henry, and Adermi Mitchell. Thank you for watching. I'm Andre Palmer. Take care.
Any leadership that teaches you to depend upon another race is a leadership that will enslave. Yeah.
We are fully in the back-to-school season and preparation stage. One question looms large. Are you prepared? With the clock ticking down, communities across Jamaica are already getting into the groove, pulling together resources and efforts to ensure that students are set for a successful year of learning. In a show of community spirit, 3 of the island's major utility companies teamed up with Food for the Poor to host a back-to-school fair at B.B. Coke High School in Junction, St. Elizabeth, the parish hardest hit by Hurricane Beryl on July 3. Partnering with the charity organization were the Jamaica Public Service JPS Foundation and the Flow Foundation and the Digicel Foundation.
The work we do in St. Elizabeth is so important to us.
So it's an end-to-end partnership, government agencies, utility providers, and it's all geared towards giving the parents a little bit of a support structure as they prepare to send their children back to school.
We've reached the end of our program. Get a recap of everything you saw here today and more on our website, gis.gov.jm. Remember, part of success is being prepared on purpose. I'm Adrian Atkinson. On behalf of all of us here at the GIS, walk good.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.